Sam McEwen, first question.
Hey guys, thanks for doing this today. I know that you guys have been practicing, and naturally, the first question would be about how safe you feel. But I feel like you've communicated through Twitter and other means that you guys feel pretty safe. And so, what I would like to ask you is just what your feelings are on sort of the landscape of the sport right at this moment, and what you'd like to say to Big Ten leaders and presidents as it relates to playing a football season in the fall of 2020. And all of you can answer.
Yeah, I do have her. Which one? Who do you want?
Oh,
You want?
yeah, I can
You
take
take
it.
it.
You can take it.
Yeah, like you said, here we feel really safe. We feel like, our staff, our coaches have done a great job in making sure we've been, taken care of this whole time, and making sure that we're healthy, making sure that we're getting everything that we need out of just this whole situation. As far as playing football this fall, that's something that we feel strong about. We really want to play football. And that's really our message. We want to play football. We understand that, like Coach Frost said, we're not the doctors. We don't understand every aspect of this COVID virus. But at the same time, if it's possible, we want to play football. We want to be the ones to go out there and, be able to do the thing that we all love.
Yeah, just to reiterate what Decap said, not to sound repetitive, but I'm thankful I'm here. I'm thankful I'm a part of Nebraska and this program and this community. I can say for sure that we want to play. And I think it's a general consensus across the college football landscape when you look at what players are tweeting, what I saw Trevor Lawrence, I've seen numerous, hundreds maybe. We want to play football. And I know for a fact that Nebraska is taking care of us here, and our coaches, our players, this locker room, we want to play, and we're going to do whatever we can do to find a way to play.
Matt, you want to take that one as well?
I mean, plain and simple, just from even just the health standpoint, I know that this is just the best place for us because we have immediate access to any type of medical needs that we have. And if we're not here, I know I wouldn't be getting the same level of care and really the type of caution that they're taking for us. Because at the end of the day, this staff, they care for us, the university cares for us, and they want to make sure that we stay as healthy and safe as possible. So I feel 100% comfortable of playing a season and playing to the best of our abilities.
Parker Gabriel, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Adrian, I guess start with you, but any of the three of you guys are free to answer this. As different aspects of the virus and potential, complications, whether it's a cardiac issue or anything like that, as the research changes on this and we learn more about it, have any of those things given you pause at all? And how, just I guess personally, have you gone about sort of squaring whether you think there's any increased risk and wanting to play? How's that process gone for you?
Yeah, and that is valid. Most definitely that we aren't doctors, like Decap said. We're not 100% certain about everything this what COVID entails. But what I can say is Coach Frost even addressed us as a team and told us that if we're concerned for our safety, if we're worried about the heart medical problems, that he will take care of us and that he will find a way to test those things out. And I think that's what gives us such confidence up here on the podium today and our team, and why we want to play so much, because we know that those guys, our coaches, have our back. And if there is safety issues, he's not forcing us to play. There's no one being forced to play. If someone feels unsafe, they can go get tested. We can take the necessary steps to make sure that they feel safe. You guys don't. You good with that?
You got it.
Yeah.
Sean Callahan, Husker Online.
Hey guys, can you just talk about the swings of emotion you probably all have had? I mean, Wednesday, you get your schedule. I'm sure you're zoning in on that. And by Saturday morning, all this talk gets to where we're at right now today.
I mean, really, it's a lot of excitement and confusion. I mean, really, I mean, we're pumped up. It kind of looked like it was heading in the direction of we're going to be able to play and kind of show what we've been working for. And now it's kind of taking a U-turn a little bit of we're hitting in the unsure waters. We don't know what's going to happen. But, I mean, we can't really control at that point. All we can say is how we feel. And we really want to play. We really want to show what we've been working for. And we really just want to have that be heard of, like, we want to play, we want to do this. And we know that really it's they're making it as safe as we can for us. And if anyone does have these reserves or fears, that they can opt out, they can sit out, and no one's going to look any differently at them, because it's a personal thing. If you truly feel unsafe, you can sit out. But as a whole, most of the guys on this team, we've been working for months, and we want to showcase what we've been working for, and we just really want to play, plain and simple.
Decap, you want to weigh in on that one?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like you said, a lot of emotions going into that. I kind of like to think of it kind of as a roller coaster ride. You know, you get strapped into the seat, you're waiting for the conductor to start the ride, and you know, that's kind of like how we've been this whole summer. Just kind of, you know, they briefing us on what to do during the ride, what not to do, all the type of stuff. You know, basically caring for us, and then you know it starts going, and you take that slope going up, and you know every day you just kind of chip away at it. And then we get to the top, you know, they release a schedule, and we're like, okay, this thing's really going to happen. And right before you kind of go down, the ride just kind of stops and gets stuck. And now we wait for somebody to come and, you know, fix the ride, come and rescue us, come and get us. So, I mean, at this point, you know, we just kind of waiting and seeing, you know, what they have for us. But definitely, like, there's been a lot of emotions into this thing, especially for guys that really, really feel passionate about this game of football like me, really wanting to play, you know. When somebody takes a game away from you, no matter, you know, at what point in life it is, you know, you feel that when you really love the game. So right now we kind of feeling it, but, you know, we also understand every day we come into this building, you know, we in here for a reason. So this morning we had practice, you know, maybe about midway through practice I heard, you know, that the Big Ten was thinking about actually canceling the season. And it didn't stop me. You know, I still brought the energy, still got my guys ready to go. And, you know, that's just kind of how practice been for us and how every day has been for us coming in here. We don't want to think about the negative. We just want to weigh in on the positives, and we just want to come in here every day and, you know, just give it all that we got for as long as we can.
Steve Sipple, Lincoln Journal-Star.
Scott mentioned, guys, that today was a particularly good practice. That he addressed you before it. What was the gist of his message, and why do you think it was such a good practice?
I can address it. Yeah. Well, it was a good practice. Like Decap said, we brought the energy. I think guys are still optimistic that we can play this year, because we want to play football, and there's a lot of other players like us who want to play football. I think there's still a strong possibility it can happen this year, and we're remaining optimistic. And we want to get better. We enjoy being around each other. We enjoy playing football. And I think in these times that are going on right now, it really makes some guys come out as if you really love football or if you don't. Do you really want to play or don't you? And I think you see that across college football, guys standing up for the game that we love to play, for the game that we want to play.
Do you have a sense of the community, the fan base? What do you hear from them about playing, the possibility of playing or the possibility of not playing?
Well, if we're talking just Nebraska, I know for a fact that people of Nebraska want to play. I think that's almost 100% if you asked our state and the city of Lincoln, our players, our staff, our community, we want to play football here. And I think across the country, I see that too. I see that from other schools. I see that from players. And I see that from college football fans. They want the game to continue. I think America, I think our country needs college football.
Thank you, Adrian.
Next question, WOWT, Joe Nugent.
Hi, guys. I'm curious if you could take us out on the practice field. Are you even concerned about coronavirus? How safe do you feel? What's it like out there? Do you even think about COVID-19 at any time?
Speaking for myself, every time I'm out on the practice field, I don't really think about it. Football's always been kind of an escape for me from, the realities of the world. The good thing about football is when you cross those white lines to get on the field, nothing else matters but football. You could be going through it at home. You could have a billion problems in your life, and once you cross those white lines into the football field, nothing else matters but football. And that's where a lot of people get their joy from it. So a lot of people may be feeling the effects of COVID. Maybe in their families, maybe have lost a loved one. One of their friends may have got it. A family friend may have got it, and it might really be impacting them. But one thing about football, as far as for me, I just know once I cross those lines, that's my escape from everything. So, with everything going on, like last night I was seeing all the reports about the Big Ten possibly canceling the season and all of that stuff. And, I'm at home, so I can see it. But this morning, as soon as I walked onto that field, I didn't think about any of that. So for me, no, I don't think about it.
Matt, you want to weigh in on that one?
I mean, I'm the same way with Decap. I mean, when I'm playing football, I don't even think about anything else besides football. And even here when we're practicing, the coaches are still trying to take steps to ensure that we can kind of keep a little bit of distance or separation and make sure we're as healthy as possible. I mean, inadvertently, you're going to have to hit each other in football. There's going to be some cross, you're going to have to touch people. But at the end of the day, I mean, we're getting tested, we're getting screened. I mean, they're taking every viable step that they can to ensure that everyone that's out there is healthy and ready, and that we don't really need to fear Corona as much as when we're out there. It doesn't need to be a main factor because it's not going to disappear, just vanish. But they're doing everything in their power to ensure that we stay as healthy out there as we can.
Mitch Sherman, The Athletic.
Hey guys, thanks. One of the big concerns from people outside is that you guys are going to be with the general student population pretty soon when classes start. And I wonder, what's your concern about that? And what do you plan to do to keep yourself safe if you're playing a football season and you're going to class? Do you minimize your time in class, do online when possible? What level of concern do you guys have as players about being a part of the student population and not being really in any kind of bubble?
I graduated.
Yeah, that's kind of a tricky question that I'm not sure we necessarily have an answer to yet. I think if experts and university presidents, if they all knew what to expect when college students came back on campus this fall, we'd have a definitive answer right now. I can say that I think there will be a sacrifice that needs to be made by the college football teams and schools that choose to play football this year. I believe at the University of Nebraska right now, I think there's an option to take online if you want to. And so that may be something we might explore, but I can't definitively say one way or the other. I know the effects of what will happen then or what actions we'll take to try and prevent kind of the spread within our team.
Brian Christopherson, 247 Sports.
Hey guys, thanks for doing this. You guys were recruits once. There's a lot of high school guys who are really dealing with a lot of stress, who want to get noticed as recruits and stuff like that. Can you kind of speak through your personal experience of what this means, not just at the college level about playing, but across the landscape of football, about high schools playing and if they don't play and where those guys are at if there is no football?
I think because when I was in high school, I wasn't very heavily recruited like a lot of the other guys that had like maybe 50-something offers to any D1 they wanted to go to. I didn't have that luxury, and I know there are a lot of kids like that right now, not knowing if they're going to have a season and stuff like that. So it's very real. That's kind of a forgotten group a little bit, the guys who really needed this senior season. to go out there and get the film that they needed, so that way a coach could see them. Maybe this was a year that a coach wanted to see them really do big things to see if they would extend an offer to them. And at this point they're kind of shuffling around, kind of panicking, not knowing what's going to come out of their season, whether they're going to play football or not. So they kind of don't know if they're going to get the opportunity that they always dreamed of. I just say, from my standpoint, just knowing what those guys are going through, just keep pushing. Just just work out as much as you can. Just stay in tip-top shape, and just keep getting better. The work you do never goes unnoticed. So you just keep putting that work in and just believe in yourself. And at the end of the day, what's for you is for you, and it'll come. But that's definitely real. There are a lot of kids out there that kind of probably needed this part of the year that right now are in a frenzy. So if you one of those kids and you watching this, just stay strong and just keep pushing, just keep on working.
Got time for about 3 more, and I have 3 in the chat here, so we'll go Landon Wirt, Daily Nebraskan.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Thanks so much for doing this. Switching gears a little bit, I don't know if you all had the chance to see this, but over the weekend there were several Nebraska athletes and some wrestlers, some golfers, etc., that shared an open letter to the athletic. Among other things, it called for more POC representation in Nebraska athletics, as well as a memorial dedicated to George Flippin, who is Nebraska's first African-American football player, as well as placing his Memorial Stadium. I was just wondering if you guys had the chance to take a look at that at all or saw it at all, and what your thoughts on it were.
Did you see it?
Do you
want to talk about it?
I don't even know what he's talking about, to be honest.
You can talk about it.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So yeah, I saw it. This group of people got together and kind of drew that thing up, and those are real concerns by real people. Obviously, they're standing for something that they believe in, and it's the university's job to decide on what to do with that, and they're very adamant about what they believe in, and so they put that out there as kind of a challenge to the university, and now it's kind of on the university to respond. We saw it. Those are some of my friends are in that group that released it, that posted it, and I support them and everything that they want, and I think it's very real. I think it's very real that they may want something like that, and in this day and age, people have to voice their opinions, and the higher ups have to be able to see that and be able to maneuver off of that.
Parker Gabriel, Lincoln Journal-Star. We have 2 more.
Yeah, Dicaprio, Adrian, I guess this is related to that in some way. One of the things, Adrian, you mentioned Trevor Lawrence. One of the things that he called for was an official channel for college athletes to have representation in decision-making processes. Is that something that you think college athletes should have access to, sort of a formalized representation, or do you feel that the platform that you have now and the way that you go about communicating now sort of suffices?
I think Twitter, as we've seen of late with what Trevor Lawrence has done, has been able to reach a more national level. He's been able to use his platform to be talked about on, various news channels and this and that. And it's gotten his message to, I think, to the people in the NCAA office and beyond that. But also, I think it's important that the players' wants and needs are addressed and are heard. And I think that's a very valid thing for players to want some sort of representation. However that ends up coming to be, I'm not necessarily sure right now. But I do think that players' concerns and players' questions should be addressed in some formal way, hopefully moving forward.
Great.
Cap, you want to say anything?
No, you
Adam Kruger, KM3.
Hey guys, thanks for doing this today. Coach Frost, when he was up here, made it seem like, he's very committed to the Big Ten. Nebraska is very committed to the Big Ten. He also made it seem like if the Big Ten ends up canceling, he feels Nebraska would be open to playing teams outside the conference. How would you guys feel about that? And has Scott Frost conveyed that to you, that might be a scenario?
After practice, I was kind of running around the locker room telling everybody we was about to join the AFC North. So, we ready to play whoever. That's just kind of how we feel right here right now. So whoever it is in front of us, obviously we want to play quality football, we want to play quality teams and stay safe at the same time. So, if it's the AFC North, bring them to us.
And I mean, really, we would love to be able to play in the Big Ten, but that's where we are. That's our conference. That's our home, and we want to be able to represent the Big Ten. But if the Big Ten chooses to cancel, we're 100% open to playing whoever wants to play. And if at the end of the day we get to play at the Big Ten, perfect. That's our home. That's our conference. That's our place. If for whatever reason they decide to cancel and we shift somewhere else, so be it. Plain and simple, the message that we've always really trying to put out there is we just want to play football. We want to represent Nebraska, and we want to show what we've been working for.
Great. Last question. We'll close with Andy Kendi, KETV.
Adrian, I'll ask you this, and Decap and Matt, you can chime in as well. How difficult would it be if the Big Ten decides to pull the plug this fall? You guys can't figure out a schedule. How difficult would it be to play in the spring and then having 2 basic seasons in 1 calendar year?
It would be difficult, and Coach Frost touched on that, and I'm not sure, even right now as we're sitting here, we know all the complications and what that would even look like for us and what that would look like for the guys who have to turn around and play maybe a short season and go and turn around playing in the fall right away. It would just be hard on the bodies, I think. I don't necessarily know if that's what's best for us as athletes. Now, I can't speak for everyone. That's just my personal opinion. But it would be difficult. And I think that's a part of the reason why we want to play so bad in the fall, and that's why it makes a little bit more sense in our minds to play.
I think that's like more of something that you think of, once it's actually a thought that's like set in motion, a plan that's set in motion. So as of right now, they're saying that they're unsure if we're going to play in the fall. So right now, I think we just focus on whether we'll play in the fall or not. And then once they completely rule out if we can't play in the fall, then we think about, the possibility of playing in the spring. But as of right now, we just think about the now and think about the fall and just, try to make it happen now.
Matt, you want to finish up?
I mean, DCAT pretty much hit it perfectly. Right now, our main focus is playing in the fall. If that falls through and they move it to the spring, then we'll figure it out from there. Right now, I mean, our main focus is we want to play in the fall, and that's really all we're fighting for right now.
Great, thank you.